Hey guys, Stealth here. Hopefully the audio is actually resolved now. I'm not exactly sure what the hell happened the first time, but something is not working quite right with the audio. So I'm resetting some of my audio settings now and making sure that all of this stuff is working. That might mean some of you have to jump over to the other stream. Hopefully this one's going to actually work. Sorry about the inconvenience. This is why I never use one of these. Right, we can hear you now. Excellent. That's what I want to see. Anyway, welcome to the stream. The 0.5 core patch, or core patch 0.5, just came out. Just today. I think it was, what, 2 hours ago or something? And, well, let's have a look and see what's in store. I know as much about this thing as you guys do. I don't have any any preview access or something like that. So it's not like I can already walk you through the patch. I'm just going to have to explore it with you. I might not know things. I might get things wrong. If you have questions, by all means, let me know what the question is in chat and I'll see if I can answer it. Let's quickly go over the core patch features. We have crew mechanics. Don't expect something like the crew system from all the warships. That's completely different. This is going to be a crew... I already briefly checked this out, like 10 minutes or so. I already checked the crew out, and you can set a number of crew members on your ship. You can set what level they are. So, are they completely rookie? Or are they going to be seasoned veterans? And then you have a number of them. Depending on how many crew you lose, as it says here, crew losses during combat will affect several aspects of your ship. And such a thing would also include, for example, accuracy, loading speed. Basically, the more people you lose, the worse it gets. You can now save ship designs. Finally. They know it. Finally, you can now save your favorite designs in custom battles. The system works similarly as for Naval Academy. You'll be able to save and reuse your designs depending on the technology year and the ship types used for the battle. That is a good development, especially for some of my naval architects. Because if they would like me, for example, to use the same ship again, or the same ship design, then that makes it a lot easier for me to just replicate it. There are, I think, a number of slots available for that. Battle saves. You can now save your custom battles. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe because it's... maybe you have a favorite battle type that you just want to replay? I don't know. I don't really see the benefit here. This is something useful. Design custom battle AI. You can design not only one type, but all the participating ships for your fleet. This is very, very useful. Because previously you could design one ship, and you're basically left at the mercy of the AI for whatever they design for the rest of your fleet. So let's say I have a battleship, 2 battle cruisers, I don't know, 4 heavy cruisers and a destroyer. You just design one ship, for example a battleship, and now you can design all of them. So this is a very welcome upgrade. Propellant and charge are now separated. You used to have explosives. And that was, for example, Lyddite 2, black powder, stuff like that. It's now split. This way you can, well, I suppose you can create the perfect shell for your ship. More on that in a bit as we do a bit of a battle. The rudder type component, this is very interesting. They're categorized in 3 settings. Balanced, semi-balanced, and unbalanced. Semi-balanced is the neutral one. Doesn't give you any benefits or downsides. Nothing like that. Balanced means that your ship, oh, what was it? It turns, well, it has a whole bunch of green things and 1 red, and unbalanced has a whole bunch of red things and 1 green. That's a very, very scientific way of discovering it. Basically, if you have an unbalanced rudder, you're going to have a fantastic turning circle, but the problem is you're also going to have an issue where you slow down a lot. We'll test that out. Operational range. It's going to be measured in kilometers instead of, what was it? Short, medium, long, very long, something like that. New conning tower armor. It's not just the conning tower, it's also the superstructure, so let's cover that as one bit. Actually, Let's just cover this whole bit in one go. You can separate the armor for the conning tower, the superstructure, the belt, and the deck, as well as detailed gun armor. You used to have, for example, turret armor, which you could say, well, I want my turrets to be armored with, I don't know, 15-inch. Great. But you could only specify whether that was, I think, turret armor, or it was turret roof. And now they have split that. Now you can also say what the side armor should be. So that's something interesting. Can it also be in miles? Yeah, I suppose so. You can set the game in both the metric system and the imperial system. Keyboard input values for displacement and speed. Yes, finally. Finally. This is something I have been asking for a long time. Because this part, especially when you were trying to get, for example, a cruiser at 10,000 tons, it was hard to get that slider to be exactly 10,000 tons. For speed, I never really struggled because your range is just not as great. For example, a battleship between 18 and... what was it? I think 18 and 36 knots for a battleship. It's fairly easy with that slider, but the displacement, very welcome. Lots and lots of new hulls. Littorio class battleship. Russian class battleship Sovietsky Soyuz. 83,000 tons. That's a big, big girl. Damn, my voice is already given out. One sec. There, that should be better. I misunderstood the custom battle saving. Oh, it's for mid-battle saving. Right. Let me scroll back up. Battle saves. You can now save your custom battles. So not a format, but just... let's say you have this huge battle. You don't have time. You save it and you come back. That's it. Thank you for that. We have the Sovietsky Soyuz. We have a new Italian super battleship at 92,500 tons. Okay. Experimental battlecruiser. We can now build the Stalingrad. We have the new modern battlecruiser for the Italians. That's a big battlecruiser. 54,500 tons. Sure, it's not as big as the British have it. But still, that is one chunky battlecruiser. You got large cruiser 2, super cruiser for the Russians. Russians get a heavy cruiser 3. A heavy cruiser 2 for the Italians. Modern light 2 for the Italians. Italians get compact light cruiser. Italians get hybrid destroyer. Okay. We have a new Chinese super battleship for 82,500. Spanish and British. The British were sorely lacking one of these. I think the best thing that you could build was the Entra G3 hull. But when it came to building a battlecruiser, you could go beyond that. You could build a battlecruiser that was bigger and heavier than the super battleship, or than the biggest battleship hull. You also get them for the Austro-Hungarians. We get a super battleship for the Russians with 117,000 tons max. And we get small Dreadnought, 1905-1918, for Germany and Austro-Hungary. Okay, that's interesting. Additionally, various new ship parts became available in previous hulls. Right. Narrator, thank you for the donation. Get ready to give Wargaming more ideas with Russian designs. No, thank you. No, thank you. I stopped playing World of Warships, but I think they don't need any inspiration pulling designs out of their ass. New guns. Italians 3 to 8 inch caliber from Mark 3 to 5. Special Italian guns 12 inch to 20 inch. That's hefty. Okay. And we also have that for the Russians. So it looks like we'll be looking at a lot of different Russian and Italian hulls and guns. Balances. Shell's ballistic weight and costs have been rebalanced to support the new propellant/shell charge component. Okay. Weight's been increased by about 10% for the belt armor. It could become rather light. It could become rather light in the high-tech era. Yes. Well, I might or might not have played with that. I do recall my wife building a ship which had a fuck ton of armor. Especially deck armor at that. Anyway, torpedo protection now contributes slightly to hull resistance. Okay. That's useful because torpedo protection when there were no torpedo threats, although basically anything between a torpedo boat and a battleship can have torpedo tubes, they weren't that useful. Overpens mechanics improved. You should not get excessive overpens against torpedo boats, destroyers, and generally unarmored ships. Ah, they listen to World of Warships. They listen to World of Warships. Lovely. Fires are extinguished less easily. Okay. This means that you can burn ships down faster, probably. The upgrades to the AI is unfortunately rather small. Friendly AI division commander has been reworked. Okay. Improved further the AI design system, so they're going to design better ships. Improved further the opponent AI. What does that mean? Like how they're going to act? Or what they're going to do in maneuvers? Bugs and other fixes. Fixed guns that could not rotate during the battle. I haven't seen that in a long, long time. Fixed rotation that were mounted on turrets. What? Oh, right. I think you had the British turrets, and you could put a smaller gun on that. Something like that. Fixed bug that was related with attached detail. Yes. There was indeed quite a bit of a bug. Unfortunately, it doesn't say what bug exactly they decided to squash there. Repairs in the LOD of the torpedo models. What? I don't know what LOD means. They could cause, very rarely, too many threads. Oh, okay. Right. Fixed bug that could make early torpedo boats have to... Yeah, that's the one I reported. It's a... it makes for an interesting video. I have one. Just look for the 12-inch, or for the, what do I call that, hilarious torpedo boat bug or something like that. Fixes on the availability of German, Italian, Austro-Hungarian cruisers of the 1900s. Okay, I didn't know there was something. Fixed bug that could cause great delays during auto-design process. I never used that, but okay. Fixed the battle issue, battle UI issue that showed inactive components still active on the list. Alright. Fixed issue with 17-inch guns of Mark III that could be researched slower. What? Researched? This is campaign stuff. This is campaign stuff. You cannot research guns in the current version of the game. That is, well, let's say everything up to and including probably Core Patch 05 version 87. But when the campaign hits, you can actually research them. And apparently you could not do it fast enough. Fixed, various hull and gun fixes as per feedback. Graphic settings, more available for configuration for optimal graphic settings. Okay. Your safe designs in Naval Academy will not work. Fair. There's a known issue which can cause a crash during fleet design while you click mouse button in the loading window. Yeah, just don't do that. Just don't do that. I had somebody ask that in a video recently. Like, hey, why does my game crash when I click in the loading screen? Don't do that with Dreadnoughts. It does not work very well. If you're a YouTuber playing Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts and receive a copyright claim, please dispute the claim. It will be resolved in 48 hours. Okay. So I can use the music now. That's nice. You can avoid the above-mentioned procedure if you turn off the music while broadcasting our game. Let's go with the music. Let's use this stream as a test. I already turned it off. But let's have a listen. Provided it's not too loud, of course. There. Okay. So we have a ton of stuff to unlock. Or to unpack. Oh, to unlock as well, because all my Naval Academy stuff got reset. Oh! That wasn't in the patch notes, but alright. Apparently, you first have to go through the missions now. It's not like you can just sort of skip over it. Unfortunately. Alright, load mission. Ah, that's for when you save the battle and you decide to come back to it later. Gotcha. Right. Let's fire up... Well, I'm going to fire up Google Chrome anyway. Or rather, the patch log. Because I want to see exactly what sort of hulls I should be looking at. And there are many. Let's have a look at the Italian ships first. After 1936, 1936... Available after 1935... After 929. Okay. Italians. Let's make it a party. It's 1945. That's right, 1940. We're going to start at 20,000 meter range. Battleship on battleship. The Austro-Hungarians have a new large hull, I think. Austro-Hungarians can build something after 1936 with a displacement between 89,500 and 101,500. But I also need to have heavy cruisers. I need to have, I think, super cruisers, so battle cruisers. I need to have access to light cruisers, as well as destroyers. Yeah, this should do it. Design. I'll also give them one of each. To make this a sort-ish balanced music. Balanced battle. Music, lower it a touch. See, they did so well with being able to type a number here. And now they don't have a number here. This is the next slider they need to replace. Or just have, I don't know, 5% increments or something like that. Anyway, let's have a look. On the top here, we have the battleship, the battlecruiser, the heavy cruiser, the light cruiser, and the DD. So I can design any of these. That is nice. That is nice. Heavy cruisers, light cruisers, and destroyers. Design invalid. Yes. It's probably saying the main tower is needed a few times because it's missing in all of my ship classes. That is something that would explain why I have so many issues. Anyway, we have a couple of new hulls. Let me pull up the patch log. We have the Littorio class battleship. 45,000 to 75,000 tons. Uh-huh. Is that this one? Because this is 45,000. Check. To 75,000 tons. No. 72,500. Either this is not the right hull, or the patch log is wrong. Oh, that is satisfying. That is satisfying right there. Okay, so this is one of their new hulls. Very sleek, very long. And I imagine potentially pretty quick. What's your water resistance, or what's your hull form? 94, 88, 89, 115? Okay, so this one is very, very, very sleek. But it sacrifices stability and resistance. Yeah. Okay, so I'm assuming this is the Littorio class battleship. Because the Italian super battleship, 76.5 to 92.5, that's their super heavy. This is their super battleship. And as you can imagine, it still sticks out of the dock when you try and fit that in. Let's say that I would build some of the new Italian components. The mega tower. How mega are you? Good lord, that thing is enormous. What you got there on the side? What are those? Chad, do you know that? It's not plotting equipment, is it? I mean, this looks rangefinder-ish. But this? I'm not sure what that is. I like how sleek this tower is. It might be very flat on the front. It might be tall. But what it does not have is a very wide profile, like the German towers do. Okay, so we also got a heavy secondary tower. Oh, that's super sleek. Wow, I like that. Let's do the hull test. How far can I port this thing? Oh, yes. You can make a Super Nelson. You can make this thing into an aircraft carrier at this point. Let's not. Please, please, please do not add aircraft carriers to this game. Let's see. A more reasonable battleship. We're going to create a singular superstructure and then make sure that we have a number of reasonable guns. Super firing barbette average. Those things are positively tiny. Oh.
Frequency's open.
That's new. I like that. Super firing barbette, very small, 15 tons, 2 crew members. Narrator, the Italians are known for their love for rangefinders. Those are rangefinders. These things are all rangefinders? Wow. Thank you for the donation, by the way. This is very generous. Anyway, what else do we have? We got the super firing barbette. That's your... Wait. Yeah, no. I was curious to see if that would sit. Let's take a more reasonable barbette. And see what those new guns are about. So that's the medium superimposed. That's the medium superimposed 2. It's 15 tons heavier and slightly taller, but not as wide. Then we got the 3. If you overrule the game, then it does allow you to put it there. We got the standard. And from there it becomes more and more sizable. Wait. I can have 4 medium barbettes, but a limitless amount of enormous superimposeds? I have all this space. Right. Yep. Yep, I actually have more space for enormous superimposed barbettes, which are 545 tons each, than I do have for medium barbettes. Why are these things limited? Maybe they've seen Taskmaster and they know what sort of monstrosities I can create with this. Anyway, we also have the new gigantic superimposed barbette. That takes up a ton of space. It does look great though with that... What's that? Blast shield or something? That wall in front of it. And now I'm a grain of silos. Yeah. Just a giant floating Italian grain silo, don't mind me. Okay. So we have the new Italian guns then. Oh please, you don't want to sit in there. Just look at that! That's a 9-inch. This thing just positively dwarfs a 9-inch. There. That's the ginormous barbette, the gigantic superimposed barbette, overlaid on a 9-inch gun. Wave break. Ah, thank you, that's what that's called. Wave break. It does have some sort of funnels in there, doesn't it? Oh, sorry, no, that's just the deck. Never mind. Okay. We had new Italian guns. I think the 9, 10, and 11 aren't that interesting. Nice design. I like it. Life rafts on top. Can I park smaller guns on top of that? Yes, I can. Ooh, fancy. Very fancy. Especially useful when you're fighting smaller ships. Because this way you can very quickly bring smaller guns to bear against the enemy. Especially considering that this thing is enormous. Something like this is going to make a big, big, big difference. Okay. So that was the 13. The 12 and the 13 have those life rafts on top. Well, they all do. Or... No. The triples have their life rafts on top. And for the quadruple, you just have to learn to swim. Because they don't have rafts on top. For some reason. Okay. This looks like a pretty stock gun. It looks like a pretty normal one. Check out the new secondaries. Yes, I'll get to that. It looks like all of the single, dual, triple, half, the life rafts and the quads are just, well, standard. How big of a secondary can I plant on top of that? Not a 4-inch. Aw. Not a 3-inch. 2 inches then, I suppose. Yeah. 20-inch gun for scale. Good lord. Okay. Now that we have a gun, I can also have a look at what sort of firepower we can bring. Because this is the propellant, and this is the shell charge. So let's have a look at the propellant. Low burn. Okay, everything else is obsolete. So we get cordite 3. A more stable version of cordite propellant with characteristic very similar to 2-powder, equivalent of the British solventless cordite SC. Offers exceptional shell characteristics in terms of shell damage and ballistics. Relatively safe for a ship and well protected. So less flash fire chance. Oh, this is going to get expensive. 450% shell cost, 550, 750. Modern triple base. Double base propellants consist of nitrocellulose, nitroglycerin and other additives, which improve the chemical stability. With the addition of nitroguanidine as a third major substance, we received the triple base propellant, which has overall excellent characteristics, assuming that the ship carrying it uses the latest technology and protection, since it is not the safest propellant. Additionally, the turret mechanisms need to be reinforced to withstand the higher explosion charge or explosion power of this propellant. Ah, that's interesting. So relative to cordite, this one gives me more. Yeah, it gives me more gun range. 2.5%, 7.5%. Gives you a fraction more shell pen. 6%. Yeah, this is 5% shell damage. This is 6%. Slightly higher muzzle velocity, but overall it just seems like the stuff is less likely to blow up in your face. But it's not... I'd say it's not strictly that triple base is better. Because 2-powder... Yeah, see, 2-powder has far, far, far less high shell or HE shell damage and explosion and fire chance. But it does have more accuracy. And this one has 1.5% more shell pen. This has 12.5% more shell pen. That is pretty stable. And look at that flash fire, minus 45%. Why would I pick this? For the gun range? I'd say 2-powder 3 is superior to triple base. But triple base is 750. And this is 550 shell cost. 2-powder also doesn't add to turret weight. Exactly. This is 10% turret weight. That is substantial, especially when you're using a lot of them. 69,114. 69,570. 136. That's 400 tons in propellant. Super low burn. Okay. If not well handled, you go boom. Maybe, but you don't go boom as quickly as when you use triple base, because this has minus 15% flash fire for, well, flash fire chance, explosion, and spreading. This is minus 45. I don't exactly see why we'd use triple base, but, well, maybe that's going to reveal itself later. Then we have the explosive material, ranging from black powder to gun cotton to picric acid, TNT1, picric acid 2, dunite, TNT, picric acid 3, TNT 3, and TNT 4. I can pick TNT 3, 234, and picric acid 1940. This is more shell damage. That's a lot more shell damage. I think you can make all sorts of super customized shells here. This is going to take me a while to learn. This is by far the highest shell damage for high explosive. Or is it? No. It looks that way. Look at this. Picric acid 3 plus 27.5% shell damage. Good lord. These things damage 2122. Okay. If I go to picric acid, it's 2347. Clearly this is a job for Excel. Yeah, it looks that way. Anyway, this is plus 27.5%, but you get less shell pen. Like you need that on a 20-inch. So we had 2347. If I go for high TNT, or sorry, TNT 4 as it's now called, 2212. So your damage is slightly lower. How much damage could I get if I go for the highest amount of damage? This is 2.5% shell damage, 5%, 6% shell damage. Cool. And I'll also take your TNT 3. And I'd like to fire super heavy shells. And I'll blow you out of the water at 2591 damage. If it hits. If it hits. That's kind of the problem. You don't know if that's going to actually hit something. When a nuke goes off, there's a certain radius where all the pizzas in the supermarket are cooked to perfection. I like it. Okay. We also have the new crew system. That's a lot of a tooltip. The crew training spans from 0 to 100 max rating and are categorized in 6 thresholds. Cadets, green, trained, regular, seasoned, and veterans. The training skills increase as training becomes higher and are the following. You gain accuracy, aiming, reload time, and damage control. Speed up fire extinguishing, water pumping, etc. A well-trained crew significantly enhances the efficiency of warships, but cannot replace the importance of advanced naval technology. Therefore, when you design a ship, ships in the Naval Academy and custom battles, it is needed to carefully examine the benefits of having numerous and highly trained crew over buying more expensive gear or building more ships. Yeah, so if I'm doing a custom battle and I have an unlimited budget, I don't care. But if you are playing a battle in, for example, one of the naval colleges, or in a naval scenario that I get sent in by a naval architect or taskmaster, this can make quite the difference. This can make quite the difference. Shell loading time is currently 127 seconds. Now it's 88. That cut 40 seconds off of the reload? Whoa. That is impressive. Autoloaders, 55.1 second. If you get a bunch of rookies, 79 seconds. These guys have a lot of impact. And you can also set quarters. This I already checked out. Over here on the far right hand side, you got what the skills do. So right now, because I have a bunch of noobs, I have no bonuses or debuffs. Oh, sorry, no, I have debuffs. Because my... Go away. My accuracy is lower, my aiming is lower, my reload time is worse, and my damage control is far worse. So this is something that would pretty much hurt your ship. But, look at the price tag. 94.9 million. I just spent 60 million, or close to that, on crew. 60 million. Whew. 60 million buys you a lot of steroids. Yeah, I think you're not wrong. I think you're not wrong. Whew. That is expensive. And then over here you have the battle station's crew. Control, Uses or affects tower, secondary tower, funnels, and affects damage control and aiming. Okay. Main guns affects main guns reload accuracy and such. You got secondary guns and torpedoes, which currently don't require any crew. These things apparently work best if they have at least 142 crew members. And if I upgrade the amount of quarters to, for example, spacious, I get a bigger buffer, if you will. I now have 1,715 people available for crew, or for control. But I don't strictly need all of them. Whereas if you go for cramped quarters, you get 1,200 people and you need all of them. So the first one to die immediately starts impacting your accuracy. And such. This is going to be an interesting mechanic to play around with. Alright, what else do we get? The semi-balanced rudder. They have their axis not fully centered, so they're a wider surface area aft of their turning point. Right. This setting offers an optimal maneuverability for warships, good turning rate, less loss of speed, rather quick rudder shift. Okay. Rather quick rudder shift. Maneuverability. 30 seconds to change course. 70 seconds to change course at full speed. Turning rate 0.54 degrees per second. Right. Turning speed minus 35. If I go for a balanced rudder, balanced rudders have their axis almost at the center of gravity, requiring less torque for their rotation, and thus less energy consumption from the steering gear equipment. The balanced rudders have the smallest surface area aft of their turning point, so they can rotate in more degrees without causing vibrations and loss of speed at the cost of less maximum energy used to turn the ship. Prefer the balanced rudders for swift maneuvers and a faster average speed during combat, but beware, the overall ship turning rate will be lacking. Currently, I have a turning rate of 1,836 meters. Oh, sorry, turning circle. And now it's well over 2 kilometers. Okay. I'll lose a maximum of 27% during a speed, or during a turn. My turning rate is lower. Course change is 31 seconds as opposed to 36. See, this thing initially, the unbalanced, scared me, but I think it's going to be fun. Unbalanced rudders have their full surface area aft of their turning point, thus more torque is needed for their rotation, while their effective turning degrees is less. At their maximum rotation, they provide the fastest turning rate of all rudders. Prefer the unbalanced rudder for tighter combat maneuvers, but beware, your ship may often stall or delay too much to change direction. So I suspect we're going to see a far lower turning circle, but I'll lose a ton of speed in a turn. And course change time will be worse. Oh yeah, 42 seconds. But turning circle just dropped by 800 meters. Oh, sorry, 900 meters. Turning speed minus 43.4%. Yikes. Turning rate is better. If I put this on a destroyer, I'll look more into the hulls in a bit. We're going to be fast. No, we're not going to be doing 60 knots. Let's say I'm doing, I don't know, oh, I can type, 45 knots at best. We're going to be doing that with diesel 2 engines. Blah, blah, upgrade. To flood some of it, reinforced bulkheads double. Stereo. I'm just quickly throwing a ship together so that I'm using quite a bit of the hull and thereby making sure that it sort of fits. Yeah, you can sit right over there. The ship's overweight, that's fine. So I can still do that. Slightly overweight. Mini bulkheads, let's not. I can push this to oil, which didn't do shit. Yeah, that really didn't do shit. Oh, because my range is none. 40 knots? 38 knots? 38 knots. Fine. Ah, stop complaining. 48 knots. Sorry, 38 knots. Currently, turning circle 654, and I lose 5% in a turn. That is pretty good. It means I'll lose almost nothing. But yeah, that does not impact it at all. The level of crew does not impact the ship performance, of course. It does impact the ship performance, but not maneuverability. That's how I should say that. Hold on. It feels like the stream has not done... Hold on. Is this thing still working? Because it looks like my stream panel is crashing. Streamlabs is throwing a fit. Just gotta verify this thing works. Yeah, okay, no, it's fine. Okay, good. Anyway. I'm not losing a lot of speed in a turn, that's good. But if I push this to a balanced rudder, turning circle becomes 749. Whew. Okay. That's not good. That's not good. For a DD, this is pretty bad. Course change time, 10 seconds. If I go for the unbalanced rudder, my course change time is 14 seconds, but my turning circle is 561. And that is at full speed. If I, for example, slow down to 30 knots, I can probably get that pretty low. Still 527? That's because you're a 4,500 ton destroyer. It's a really big girl, this DD here. Right. Oh, I never noticed that you could see the other dock down there. Hold on. Does that mean I can see all the different docks? Or no? No. Oh, that would be so cool. If you could just see your own, let's say, battleship here. And then you hop over to the battle cruiser designer. And you see that being, or you see that battleship, for example, being built over there. That would be great. Okay, back to a more strategic format, structured format. We had the Littorio class battleships, and there were some towers that we checked out. I'm not seeing any new funnels, I think. I mean, the funnels all kind of samey to me, well, except the French. The French have some pretty good funnels, because you can also put some secondaries on there. We had the barbettes, the secondaries. Oh. Is this... Hold on. How big are those? No way. I cannot potentially put an 8 down there, but a 7? Oh, yes. You can put 7-inch guns down there. They'll not turn very well, but you can do it. There. Nah, they'll turn like shit. Probably 6-inchers are better. But, more interestingly, I think you can put secondaries on secondaries. Up there. Yep. Okay. We heard you like secondaries, so we put some secondaries on your secondaries. Oh man. Just consider how many secondary guns you can have on a ship. I'll probably have to revisit the whole... what was it? Most guns on a ship challenge. Because the Italians might, or most barrels, because the Italians might just win it with all these secondaries that you can stack on top of each other. I suppose it's only 2-inchers though. Yeah, a 3-inch, even a single barrel does not want to fit. Still, that's amusing. That's very amusing. This is their new design for the 3-inch. We have the 4-inch. A 5. 6. From 6 you can start putting secondaries on there. 7. Go back. And 8. There. That's the whole Italian family. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many secondaries can I put on there? Still just 1? This feels far wider than this. But you can still only put 1 secondary 2-incher up there. Right. Okay. It feels like they took this model, let's say this one, and then just welded that thing on top, and then they increased it by, I don't know, 5%, 10% size, and they said, boom, now you have a 7-inch, and now you have an 8-inch. Which I get, because they're all very similar, but alright. Go away. Right. Let's check out some of the other Italian hulls. Because this is their super battleship. The Littorio is the modern battleship 3. I like that they give that warning now, by the way. That said, hey, you're not finished. Are you sure? Because I have clicked on that once every, well, every now and then, shall we say, and it wasn't great. Because you're just being thrown all the way back. Oh, hold up. The super battleship has a different tower system to the modern battleship 3. Because now I get the light towers. Advanced light tower 4, 3, 2, and 1, and the compact advanced tower. That indeed does look pretty compact, but when looking at it from the different hull... Oh, they get the mega tower. That's it. Different specs. 44, long range gun accuracy is what I mostly look at. 37, 29. Okay. So, if you want to go for long range accuracy, go for this. Basically, always go for this, because all the stats are better. Well, your target signature is worse, I'll give you that. But beyond that, not too much. Okay, so that is the Italian Littorio class. We get the Russians, we get the Modern Battlecruiser 2. This is their fast battleship. That's a 75,000 ton battlecruiser. Okay. Oh, is this it? Oh! Okay. The Littorio class battleship, they have classed as a battlecruiser. That's why I couldn't find it among the the battleship hulls. It's here. It's classed as a fast battleship. 45,000 to 75,000 tons. That means you can do some ludicrous speeds in this thing. And you can probably actually get there. At 44 knots. You won't turn. Well, not with this rudder. But... you could get a battlecruiser to turn pretty quick here. Your turning circle is great, but your slowdown is terrible. And this is at 45,000 tons. This is going to get progressively worse. Progressively a lot worse. 2,500 meter turning circle. I don't think I've ever seen it that bad. I've seen some big turning circles in my day, but this is new. 2,500 meters. Right. Okay, what else? The Modern Battlecruiser 2. Ooh, very sleek. Look at that hull form. Hull form 80. In case you don't know what hull form is, it is how easily a ship slips through the water. How sleek it is, if you will. It usually gives you a very fast hull because it's so narrow. But also because it's so narrow, it gives you less stability. This fast battleship is just wider and therefore more stable. It's a more stable firing platform. But 109 hull form. I imagine you could make a fantastic raiding battlecruiser with this. Look at that. You got 20,000 tons to work with. More, even. Yeah, this is going to be a very, very nice hull to play around with. Onto the cruisers. Oh, no, actually, it's here. New Italian large cruiser 2. That's this guy. Holy crap. How long are you? Get over here. Give me that in meters, please. $231 meters? Really? And this thing is 245. At best, it's going to be 262. And this thing, at best, $246. That's actually not as big. But it's so sleek. How are you going to fit your main towers on there? Oof! So much for being able to mount secondaries on there. I mean, it sort of tries to facilitate that here. But beyond that, you're going to be struggling. Struggling. I cannot even mount a 4-inch there. This is the 7.6. I can't even fit those. There. It's 5.1 centimeter or 2-inch what you can put up there. So I suppose you could coat this thing in 2-inch guns. But you're going to have a 30... you're going to have a 1,400 meter turning circle. And that's at 33 knots. Oh, Lord. Okay. Uh-huh. Heavy cruisers. The Italian heavy cruiser... Whoa. Heavy cruiser loads. Heavy cruiser 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. The heavy cruiser 2 being the new one. So that's pretty straightforward. I'm not sure exactly why it has this wannabe superstructure on there. I'm not sure I like it because it's going to restrict the ability to build. It does look good if you just encase it with the rest of the superstructure. There. It does look good. But is it useful? Can I stick a funnel in? I cannot even stick a funnel in there? Okay, that sounds terrible. I cannot put a gun on there. What can I do? Nothing. So why is it there? Why do I have 2 motor launches? Like, am I going to board anybody or what? Oh! Got it. Those 2 little things are the pizza delivery craft. That's especially a feature of the Italian ships. That's why they're there. Lifeboats are important. Those are not lifeboats, sir. That's the pizza delivery craft. That's their new name. Not motor launch, it's the Domino sloop. There we are. The Domino sloop. Okay, so that is the new cruiser hull. Do they have any new tower systems? I don't think so. Gosworth, I see you face palming there. What else do we get? Italian Modern Light Cruiser 2. Moving on. Modern Light Cruiser 1. This is the Cruiser 2. Hull form. 115. 119 for Modern Light Cruiser 1. Ridiculously sleek. Stability. Stability for both leaves a lot to be desired. 65, 61, and for the light cruiser, the compact light cruiser, which is basically a large destroyer, you get more stability. But the floatability here is best on Light Cruiser 1. But this apparently is the new one. Advanced Compact Tower 1. That is indeed very compact for a light cruiser. 21 long-range accuracy. That's great. Secondary. These rear towers remind me an awful lot about a destroyer.
Frequencies open.
They're... yeah, rear tower 7. Rear tower 6. What's my benefit? Oh, way better tower spotting. Rear tower 7 has 4200 tower spotting versus 1250. So you can see both ships and torpedoes coming pretty... well, pretty much 3 times the distance away. Almost 4 times with the rear tower. And also has less of a footprint. It's taller than your main tower. Okay. Curious, but okay. Also new, the Italian compact light cruiser. Where I suppose I can also put these. Yeah. I think these hulls look very, very good. Get over here. It's not quite an instant, hey, I have my destroyer protection finished. Because you simply cannot use 2-inch guns against a destroyer and hope to live. I mean, yeah, you can, but if a destroyer gets to within their, what, 5-6 kilometer range? Well, you're gonna have a rough time. Come on. What? Okay. If I put a 2-inch gun here, the whole... no, the barbette starts to complain that it's not feeling comfortable. That makes no sense. That's a bug. That's probably not right. I missed a donation. Narrator. It seems you can make the exploratory class. Heavy DD, very light cruiser. Uh-huh. Okay. Didn't know about their ship classes. Yeah, it's the same problem here. If I pick a different barbette, is that going to make a difference? Yes. This barbette doesn't like it. This one is fine. This one doesn't care. The firing arc gets weird with the gun on top. No, the firing arcs get fantastic. You can just stack this thing pretty tall. I can even... look at that, you can even have another 2-inch in front. And probably behind it as well. Woe be to the destroyer that approaches this thing. If I want maximum range... minus 9% gun range. This is plus 7.5, I'll take that. This does not impact the range. I want to try and maximize for... high explosive. There. And then we're firing super heavy shells from a 2-incher. You can get up to 6.4 kilometers. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Especially if you have a destroyer / light cruiser that can turn very quickly. And this one, at 33 knots, 7350 tons, can. 518. And I can even push that to unbalanced and make it back to 458. And that's not with all the benefits. There, 336. 336. That's really good. On a light cruiser? That's an agile light cruiser right there. How fast? Yeah, 157 to 336. It's a 157 meter light cruiser. Pretty small. The crew that has to stand on top of those turrets to operate the 2-inch guns. Yeah, they're going to be uncomfortable. To say the least. Uncomfortable. Alright, moving on. We have the compact light cruisers, check. Yeah, I have all the light cruisers, all the Italian stuff done. Moving on to the Russians. The Russians, what do we have here? Russian battleship. Sovietsky Soyuz that was never completed can now be built with a displacement between 63,000 and 83,000 tons. Here you are. Modern BB-3. What's with the weird quarterdeck? The Russians have this weird fascination with the quarterdeck. I don't quite get why. Here. What are you supposed to put on there? Seaplanes? Those are more of an aesthetic feature than anything else. I cannot put those on there. Anyway, it looks like the Russians also got their super battleship hull. Yeah, that's this big boy. This goes up to 117,000 tons. Okay. Heavy modern tower 8. Holy crap, they put the whole Kremlin on there. That's a 5,750 tons of main tower. And that's before you put on radar. Because if I add radar and RDF, it's... Oh my god. It's 8,338 tons. The Kremlin Tower 8, yeah. That's enormous. What about the secondary tower? Secondary tower complex 3, 2, heavy secondary 4. Yeah, you gotta have more Russian flags on there. I mean, Russian masculinity has to be protected. With some superstructures, you want the main and secondary connected. Here, I absolutely do not want that. This does not look good. This does not look good. Okay. I'll put it over there. What I do like is that the funnels sink into the tower. You see what I mean? This part is sort of submerged into the tower. Wait. I did not put on any guns. So why do I have a port weight offset? Was that the secondary tower? The heavy 4? No, must have been me. Just imagine how big their engineering section must be if you have a funnel over there and one over there. Because this means that you're going to have an engineering section of boilers ranging from there to there. Or you have 2 separate engineering rooms. I don't mind designing the outside of this thing, but the inside I'll leave to some AI magic. Because that is something that I don't really want to look into. What I do want to look into is how much of a gun could I put on there. 2s? Yes. 3s? Yes. 4s? Yes. 5s? No. Not disappointing. So I can put... Can we put more on the second Kremlin? Yes, we can. But there is an issue. Port weight offset 0.4. It's not my secondaries. It's the funnel in the secondary tower? Yeah. The funnel mount here is off-center. And because of that, it pulls the whole ship off-center. There. Port weight offset 0.3. Okay, so they need to fix that. That's a bug. I imagine with funnels like these, I can probably get a pretty good engine efficiency. Give me diesels, 100. You can almost pull that off with one funnel. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, what else do we have? We had the Russian battle cruiser class, experimental battle cruiser, which resembles the Stalingrad battle cruiser. BC. That's the experimental. This is the fast. It's a bit sleeker. Better hull form. Probably less resistance. Yeah, 92 versus 83. The resistance is basically damage mitigation. Built-in damage mitigation. Wait. Turning speed, 35, 65? You're going to have to run that by me. 1511. What? 1059. Course change, 27.4. 21. Aha. So I shouldn't be looking at the turning circle. I should be looking at how quickly it changes direction. Yeah, of course. Turning speed. Turning rate, 1.12 degrees per second. 0.76. How much can you buff that? 20.7 seconds with the unbalanced, and you get a pretty decent turning circle. That's good. 1.43 degree per second. That is impressive. Of course, I haven't armored the ship up yet. So this is probably going to shift, but this is still pretty quick. Good. Okay, what else? For the Russians... Yeah, Super Battleship 2, we checked that one out. Italian, Russian. Chinese. Let's head over to the Chinese. Because the Chinese also have their new super heavy battleship. Super Battleship, 75,000, sorry, 74.5 to 82.5. That is a big amount of nose that you cannot use. Big wave breaker on there. Triangular tower. That looks familiar. I think we already had that in the game. Secondaries. Ooh, that takes up a ton of space. I'm not sure if I'm going to enjoy building ships on the Chinese hull. Because sure, you can make some really weird designs. But I'm not sure if it's worth it. Can you push this thing back, please? So I cannot put the main structure too far back, even if I wanted to. So I can now put an enormous there. Centerline 5 quad. Boom. There's your 12 barrel 20-inch forward firing super battleship. It works, but other hulls have more options here on the foredeck. So that's something I'm not as enthusiastic about. It works, it's alright, but I think you can do better. Okay, next, Austro-Hungarian super battleship, British and Spanish. Give me the Austro-Hungarians. Oh, British. British super battleship. The British were kind of stuck, I think, at the end for a G3 hull, and then they got modern battleship 1 and 2, and I also have a super battleship. Because they just didn't get a very large hull. Now they do. I can't tell you whether it looks distinctly British or not, because it doesn't seem to have that much of a flavor. Advanced Tower 6. Make a Super Nelson. Whoa. That's wide? That is so wide that you have to put it pretty far forward. That's the modern secondary Tower 5. Which for 2100 tons, I'm not even that optimistic about what you get for it. But okay. Yeah, right. Is this a slot where I'm supposed to put secondaries? No, it's not. If I use a smaller secondary tower, like the compact one, then a main tower here. Yeah, I think you can make a monster Nelson out of this. I don't exactly know why I would want a gigantic superimposed barbette. This is 625 tons. This is 545. This does the same thing as this. I don't see it. I don't see the benefit. Super Nelson is still a thing. It's pretty hideous, but you can deliver quite a lot of damagement. You can deliver quite a lot of damage with this. Also, before I forget, you can set the armor. Let me put it back to the standard system. Default. You can set your turret armor for the side and the top. And this way you can set how much armor you want. Turret side armor shields the gun against horizontal shell hits from short and medium distance. Because if you're firing at longer range, let's say something like that, you're firing at me, I'm firing at you, you're probably going to take the forward side of the turret. Right? It's probably going to be quite like that. But where can I set the front armor then? Because you got the turret top armor and the turret side armor. Where is my... I don't have any casemates. Where is my ability to set the front? Is that set? (18" to 9". Yeah, I get it. Covers each turret horizontally, sides, and vertically top. Cool, but... turret side is the front. What? Turret side is the front. No, I don't think so. Turret armor is typically very strong for the battleship's main guns because not only are they our most important weaponry, but also because there would be an extreme danger of catastrophic detonation, hood, if their ammo storage after a hit. Yeah, got it. There's no difference. Oh. Oh, sides of a square. Right. So every side here is now going to be 18". Got it. And then you got the turret top armor, which you can also set. Right. Okay. But what you can do, and that's why they have this separate now, I can set, for example, a couple of different calibers, and normally all your guns would get the exact same armor scheme. No more. Because I can now specify whether I want my 16" guns to have as much armor, or not so much, as the mains. So for example, as the 20. And this way you can make sure that you have, for example, a very heavily protected 20"er, but if your 12" gets hit, well, tough. It's not going to be as painful. Something like that, I imagine. Okay, anything else I need to be looking into? Yes, we had the British. I was scrolling towards the Austro-Hungarians. So we also had a turret. No, not a turret. We had a super battleship there. This one. Ooh, you're a big girl. Sleek, too. 98 hull form. That's pretty good. Pretty good. I'm curious. This is the Austro-Hungarian one. 89,500 to 101. Well, there are some battleships that have something similar, a really high hull form. But most of them are not as good. Oh, you got the super battleship here. Super battleship 2. Is that the French thing or not? That thing has a hull form of 119. But 95,000 tons only. Right. Okay, and then we have the Spanish super battleship. I think it's the last one. I need to look into. Super battleship. 75 to 87.5. They had this thing. And now they have used different wood for the deck. So they just make believe. Completely different bow and stern. Over here you got a quarter deck, but you don't have that on this one. I like that because it gives you more flexibility when it comes to building the stern. That's good. That's really good. Alright. Let's see. Additionally, turret armor, yes. New guns, checked. Oh, actually, no. The new Russian guns. Shit, back to the Russians. New Russian guns. From 2-inch to 8-inch. From 9-inch to 20-inch. Oh, and it saved my design. Nice. Sorry, I'm so unaccustomed to that. I'm not particularly well versed in Russian turrets, so I cannot tell you whether these look very Russian or not. They do look nice. Eight-inch guns as well. Just look at how small an 8-inch gun looks on this hull. That's a 17. This is an 8. Just the difference is staggering. It's not even a 20. It's just a 17. They look okay, but they don't, I think, have the ability to put a... No. As opposed to the Italians, you cannot put a secondary gun on your secondary gun. Makes sense. Makes sense. Balances, yeah, fine. AI friendly division commander has been reworked, blah blah blah, bug fixes, etc. Okay. That is one chunky ship, yes it is. Okay, now let's actually do a battle. What I first want to do is build an Italian warship. Let's do an Italian. Oh, can I show new small hull for the Germans? Sure. That was 1910? When was that hull available? 1906 and 1918. Okay, we're going back in time. That is the small Dreadnought. This is your standard Dreadnought. And this is the small Dreadnought. This is what happens when you throw your Dreadnought in the dryer. It starts out like that, and it comes out like that. It's okay, but... it's just... It's what? It's 5% smaller. Well, okay, a bit more. 15%. Not terribly impressed. I can mount 8-inch casemates on here. What about the other hull? Yeah, go. Ah, I cannot do that. I can only mount 7s. That's it. Okay. So, just, I don't know. Don't tumble dry your Dreadnought, or you're going to end up with something like that. Moving on. Moving on to the Italians. I'm going to do one battleship versus a battleship. You know what? The US just gets everything. Or actually, let's make it Russia. Let's see what they designed for the Russian fleet. I'll give a battlecruiser as well. Yeah. I'm going to build the battleship. I'm going to let the battlecruiser be designed by the AI. And this way, the AI also gets to show me whether they're better at attacking or not. By having a bigger fleet. Okay, it did save it, which is nice. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have a ton of ships very quickly. Because this was just me testing a few designs. I think naming your ship is going to be all the more important. And because of all your designs getting auto-saved, yeah, you're going to have to really be picky about what name you pick for a ship. It's not like everything can be Enterprise or everything can be Iowa or whatever, because you're going to run into trouble. Alright. Let's go with a battleship that can defend itself against many, many things. This is the 92,500 ton battleship. Please, many bulkheads. Maxi bulkheads. Krupp. Hey, brother! Good evening. Welcome to the chat. Do you have to do all the Naval Academy missions again? Yes, you do. They reset everything, and you can't even skip ahead anymore. They made sure of that. What? What's your issue? What? Okay. Secondary, stereo, radio, sonar, oil, aux, shaft. This adds up quickly. I don't even have that much to work with. This is... The Italians also have the quarter deck. What can you put on there? Oh, you can put a... Well, you probably have to motivate a little bit. No! I can't. Normally you can hold control or shift or whatever. And you can just ignore those dots. You cannot do that with this hull. Crap. That's unfortunate. Is that a cost of 480 million? Yes. That's the crew system at work. If I get a crew of maximum level, maximum veterancy, so that's 100, and they're all veterans, I pay 479. If I get them all at rookie, you pay about 200 million less. But you're going to pay for it. Well, you're not going to pay for it, but your stats are going to change. Because now my accuracy is far less. Far less. It's minus 15%, whereas if I go for elites, I get a bonus to accuracy of 30%. So this is something that, especially in Taskmaster, could be very interesting. Alright. I'm facing another battleship. It could be one of those Russian monster ships. 20 inchers. Triples. Oh no. This is never going to fit. We're not going anywhere. Saved a little bit. Shaft 1. Aux 1. Damn. Why is this ship struggling so hard? Give me... I think I'm not going to be able to fit 20-inch guns. At least not more than one of them. Maybe a mixed armament. But that messes with my accuracy. I would love to mount 4 18 triples, but I'm going to be running into a ton of trouble with my secondaries. There. That saved me quite a bit. Barbette. Pull this back. You gotta fit the pasta somewhere, it's Italian. That is an excellent point. Ah, it doesn't fit. Here. It's a very small thing, these life rafts on top, but they add a ton of character for me. Okay, let's go with a funnel. Take an angled funnel. What's my efficiency? 80%. I'll take that. Normally I wouldn't tolerate that, but this time around I think I'm just gonna have to work with it. Can I put secondaries in the quarterdeck? Probably. Yeah. You can. It's just that your turret doesn't like it. These Italian turrets are apparently pretty picky. And don't like... Probably because they're so tall. Don't like the fact that there is something standing over them. But that also means that over here I can definitely not have any secondaries. Not that a 2-inch secondary is really worth it for a ship this large. Nor does this look reasonable. But, well... I think when it comes to building a ship of this size, you're not really too concerned with 2-inch guns. It's not really that much of a problem. Because what I want to be able to do is eliminate their big ships. That's what the 18s are for. As well as keep their smaller ships at bay. Can I put these on a barbette? One of those smaller things? Ooh, that's cute. Oh, but you have to manually mirror that. Mirror mode is on. There. Ta-da. Not valid. Empty barbette. I know. Now we're getting somewhere. That's gonna do wonders for how much my ship is gonna roll. Roll 5.5. Roll 1.8. Yes, you can put your 8-inch guns up there. But your ship's gonna go all over the place. No, thank you. At least I know that I can do it. Anyway, 6-inch guns, maybe? Not even too many of them. Just one there and one there. That'll definitely dissuade light cruisers from approaching. When it comes to everything from heavy cruiser to battle cruiser and battleship, I'll just use the 18s. The destroyers... I'll just throw on some 5s here. There. Game's a bit laggy. Not sure why. That's better. Okay. Can I flip the ship? Well, with enough roll. Maybe. Anyway. Propellants. So we got all these new fancy buttons. Reload time, -5%. This one does not impact reload at all. I'm gonna go for 2 powder. I would really prefer it not to get blown up. And then over here we have the TNT. Picric acid. 20% shell damage and more high explosive. I don't know if I need more high explosive. Nor shell pen. Stuff like this. More overall. I think it's better. Let's go with that. When I use the tiny barbettes with the secondaries, with some of them I can. For example, the B and the X turret, I can. The other turrets, they simply won't fit. Because there, the B turret gets in the way. So I can do it there. I can do it here. But that's it. Some guns have poor field of fire. Okay, fine, but at least tell me which ones. You mean along the side? Oh, yes. I could put them on there. That's actually a really good idea. I could also potentially mount a couple of 3-inchers up here. No. Good lord, this lag. All tabbing in and out of the game sometimes help, but it doesn't really add that much now. 5.3 inch. Guns on guns, is there anything better? Yes, brother, you can actually have a secondary with a secondary. Like this. A secondary 6-incher with a secondary, or tertiary? I don't know. Another 2-inch gun on top. That's a thing. But unfortunately, you can stack a 6 on an 18 and then have another 2 on top. There are limits. Sadly. Let's make these things rotate a little faster. I'm just curious to see what happens if I pick the unbalanced rudder. This means that I'll have a lot of slowdown when I start turning. Minus 43%. Yikes. Too heavy. Let me enter torp 2. Mid belt. 4 belt. Wait, I didn't even pick my citadel. No, I did. All or nothing. Okay. Yeah, catastrophic internal damage. 4 belt is the extension of the belt armor on the bow of the ship. It does not have to be as thick as the belt, because projectiles that strike from the front are more easily deflected due to the angle of impact. Sure. Aft, same. But you could have some ridiculously heavily armored bows. How high does this go? Is that the 100-inch limit? Yeah, it's the 100-inch limit. What I want to test out is... Well, on this hull it's not ideal, but... let's set this to 7. 7? Hello? Jeez, the game is lagging a lot. 7. What the hell? Mick and Nelson Richelieu with more 4 belt and deck. Yes. You could have some very potent ships there. I'll make this 6. 6.5. Okay, fine. Superstructure is a new one. It is not the conning tower. The conning tower is the one that decides accuracy. There's a severe penalty in gun accuracy, so that's why this is 18 inches of armor. Superstructure is everything else. If towers are funnel destroyed, then all the respective effects become non-functional. So say that you have a funnel and it gets blown off, or destroyed, or, well, made non-functional. I suppose your engine efficiency could drop to none. This is how I imagine World Warships balances their ships. Just click up and down a little. What? Why are we going from 4-1 to 5-1? What the... The game is really losing the plot now. Five one, 5 none. Thank you. Conning. 18-2, 18-3. What is with these slowdowns? You don't know what they're referring to by superstructure armor. Basically everything that is on the deck. Towers, main tower, funnel. Everything else has its own armor scheme. So the 6-inchers, the 7-inchers, the 2s, the 18s, they all have their own armor scheme, but the superstructure does not. It starts suffering FPS. Yeah, that seems like what's happening. I also have a suspicion that it could be my PC for some reason. No. PC's fine. Yeah, it's the game. Okay, anyway. Enough building. Let's take the Lazardoso into battle. And I'll let the battle cruiser be designed by the AI. RAM could be full. No. I'm only using 44%. The game is using 2000 MB, so about 2 gigabytes. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Overall, I think the patch has introduced a lot of interesting stuff. A lot of nice stuff. And I like it. I have yet to test their AI. And that's usually, at least from my perspective, their weak point. Because the problem with the AI is that they are awfully good at dodging torpedoes. And at the same time, they're awfully bad, if they're in my formation. They're awfully bad in my formation at dodging torps. They will not dodge torps unless I explicitly tell them so. And if you have a larger group of ships, it just doesn't work very well. That's unfortunate. Because I can only be in so many different places at once. Well... Welcome to Schrodinger's stealth. You never know where he is. No, I can only look at 1 or 2 specific areas and just keep checking back and forth between there. But if you give me 15 ships to command, something is going to get torpedoed. If you give the AI that many ships, they don't care. It's that simple. They don't care. They're always going to perfectly dodge. And at the same time, I've had missions where the mission would say, AI never retreats. Yes, it does. There's this one convoy mission. You have to intercept a German battleship with a battle cruiser of your design. And it says the AI will never retreat. Yes, it will. Because that battleship was constantly heading away. AI always retreats, exactly. Yeah, and then sit at max range and waste all the ammo. Also, this is taking forever. I know it takes long, but I'm only asking the game to build me 1 battle cruiser. Not that much. Not that much. Ah, there we go. It has built my battle cruiser. Now it's building a battleship. But I thought that this is something that they mentioned in the patch notes that they fixed. Improved further design to the AI systems. Okay. Maybe not. Oh, I think we're ready. I'm usually quite hesitant to click out of the battle. Or to click out of the game, but... Come on, game. This is slower than it was before the patch. Yeah, I agree. It feels very slow. I wonder if the AI has more to develop. Because it also has to pick a shell type and it also has to pick a crew. This really is taking forever. Ah, it's building a heavy cruiser now. Progress. Not sure why it's taking so long, because the game is not running from a different drive than it usually is. It's not consuming more RAM than it usually is. Not sure why. Game's not allocating resources for that. Okay. As long as it builds good, unique battles, the extra time is worth it. Fair point. But this is taking a long time. Oh, there we go. Pre-warming, preview, cleanup, prepare for battle. Boom. Finally. Holy mother of God, what is that? Okay. Hello. You're the new Russian battleship, aren't you? 16 18-inch guns. Oh, they didn't pick the Kremlin Tower. I didn't even see that you could put... Is this normal? What is that? Must be an 8. It's a Russian 8. 28-inch guns. Hello. That's packing quite a bit of firepower. What about your battle cruiser then? Your battle cruiser is packing 12-13s. And all the 3-inch guns, no, 4-inch guns in the fleet. 54 4-inch guns? Alright. I take it. Any bets on displacement? Yeah, place your bets down below in the chat. What sort of displacement? I think they can go up to 117,000. Heavy cruiser. What you got there? Torps. Main guns. Niners. And a nice seaplane hangar on the stern. Then we got their light cruiser. I'm surprised that from... How far away? 20 kilometers away I can see the destroyer. That's unusual. Normally destroyers take a lot longer to be detected because you need to be a lot closer. Okay. What did the AI build for me? This is the Aurora. Ah, more 18-inch guns. What do we have? 16 18-inch guns. Dude. Few bulkheads. Standard quarters. Oh, that's where I could have saved some space. I got spacious quarters. I have 2,550 crew members aboard. Yikes. This over here on the right hand side is where you can see the new crew and what it does. My skill level is high, because they're veterans, and that means I have 30% bonus accuracy, 50% bonus aiming time. I reload faster and I damage control a hell of a lot faster. The fewer people I have available, so the more people I lose, the more my specs go down. And initially I'm running probably a surplus. I have effectively too many people, but that is not going to last. Turret rotation speed is good. %16% with the first salvo? What? Holy crap. That is impressive. Keep an eye on this, by the way, on the left-hand side, the report section. Because you're also going to see that I lose crew. Here, BB lost 3 crew. Lost 3 crew. Angle, yeah, you're right. I should be angling away. Dominoes. Here. Penetration. 18-inch shell. Good chunk of damage there. This could be a big case for what happens when you get an experienced crew. Veterans. I have 0.4% of losses, but because I have such a surplus of crew, if you will, it doesn't matter that much. Yet. Another hit. Now we're dropping accuracy. ID 18%. Partial pen on my ship. Secondary tower's been hit and a couple of sections of armor. Turning broadside, it's going to make it easier to pen. Battleship lost 17 crew, that's one hit. Instantly 17 crew members die. We're still firing at the battleship. Yeah, we are. So that accuracy feels a little low, like it's dropping off too quick. Where's your BC at? Here. 21 kilometers. Get both the Aurora and the battleship to fire at it. 1.7. See, these guys have a regular training level. They have a bonus of 10% to accuracy, but this 30% in combination with all sorts of bonuses that you're going to get from radar. That's, especially for the Japanese, that's going to be very juicy. You're going to get a ton of accuracy with one of their pagoda towers. Because they get a massive amount of accuracy bonuses. Accuracy is dropping off a little bit, because I have 1% or about 2% stability issues. Ooh! That's 33 crew members dead, and probably about 10% of their structural integrity down. Are those new sounds? Go for the ram. I might, but not yet. What sort of rangefinder system do you have? Coincidence 2? They put a Generation 3 radar and then they put a shitty coincidence rangefinder on this thing. Could you not have saved on the turrets, on the guns, and just gone for a better rangefinder maybe? 'Cause this is not great. And the partial pen from their 13-incher? Stern deck. Stern deck, stern. So you have another subsection. Well, it looks like we won't be watching seaplanes for a while. Bit of a fire going on. That fire, is that... It almost looks better than usual. Could be my perception. Boom. Pen. Hits from the battlecruiser. Turn in. Look at the turning circle here. The Lazardoso at 21 knots still doesn't really want to turn. The Aurora does. Very nicely, actually. Very nicely. There are new graphic settings, so that's a good point. I think I'm running Ultra. I'm not sure. And here is the new save button. So if you have to go, you can just save it and come back later. You saw this game had ads? What? Then you had one of the fake ad things, or you thought it was one. You watched me on YouTube. 100k subscribers, here we go. Yes. Thank you, Angela. I am slowly but steadily heading towards 100k. Keep grinding. Keep grinding.
Frequency's open.
There we go. Bring that 18-inch shell closer to that ship. This battlecruiser is probably going to flood. At least I hope so. $100k live stream. It's probably going to be a while. I'm growing currently at about 1,500 subscribers a month. So at this rate, it's going to take me a while. But hey, sometimes I'm still incredulous that I get to do this for a living. Making content is my job. And there are not that many people that can say that. Where's their... There's your battleship. Range? 29. I thought the battleship might have left, but it's still here. That is an improvement. Because sometimes the battleship would just disengage. It hasn't, yet. But if I can take down its allies, I can probably push in. Another big amount of damage. Interestingly, they haven't flooded yet once. Range 22. Good stability. Unfortunately, I don't have access to the stern guns. There's the flooding. Slow the thing down. Ooh, it's flooding quickly. Did you forget to bring your bulkheads this morning? Yeah, you did. Yekaterinburg, minimum bulkheads, dummy. 23.8 knots? On a battle cruiser? Are we not in 1940? What does this battle cruiser have? 37,000 tons. It's not that big. Aux 4 engine, shaft 3, unbalanced rudder, armor 2, anti-torp 2, diesel engines. I'm surprised it's this slow. I can't quite explain why. What about your DD? 32 knots. Light cruiser, 26. Heavy cruiser, 32? Oh, wow. The Imperatrica Ekaterina Velikaya. You wouldn't believe it, but it's only 75,000 tons. That's... I thought this was a lot bigger. Somewhere in the ranges of 90 to 100. But it's... Does make a lot of noise though. Looks like I'm gonna have quite a few letters to write, because my crew already lost about 90 crew members. In the Aurora, none yet. Probably not as bad for me as it is for them. Yeah, they're down 250. Hold on, and they're constantly losing. Is that because you're flooding or burning? Or both? Look at that, 16, 24. 23. 22. I didn't hit them. They just keep dying. 1% buoyancy. Here comes the magic AI. Yeah, that mist looks perfectly healthy, buddy. This does look gorgeous. These effects. Guess it's time for another cinematic. Now, can we please put one more 18-inch shell into this target and eliminate it? Thank you. Alright, who would like to go next? Oh, this I gotta see. The heavy cruiser's gonna run over the destroyer. No, it actually is. Hey you, get out of the way. DD is currently additional armor belt to the Azia. Oh, that's painful. I think the AI needs a bit of work. Why is the DD here? What formation is it in? Why is this thing that's capable of going 32 knots only doing 10? Because if it was in formation with, for example, the battleship, or sorry, with the battle cruiser, I understand that it's not going to move. But the battle cruiser died. It's not like the DD has any further to go. It doesn't have to wait for the battleship anymore. Oh, sorry, with the battle cruiser. Are you going to pick up survivors or something? Is that it? I generally don't pay attention to sinking ship, but this still looks good. I mean, awful for the crew. Oh. Instantly, the whole crew has died. No survivors. None. And it doesn't look like the Littorio has picked them up, because they're still at 258 crew. Interesting. So, rescuing crew is not a thing. There's a lifeboat. Yeah. The lifeboat animation, if you will, is there. You can see all sort of debris coming off the ship. There's the lifeboat. There's several lifeboats. There's nobody on them. It's not like the Azia picked them up, because they're still a 1500 crew. I would expect them to be all of a sudden at 3000 crew. Well, no, maybe not that many. Let's say about 200 people made it off the ship, if that. It's not violently exploded, so they still had a bit of time to get rid of it, or to get off the ship. I suppose that means that the Azia could have picked them up, it just didn't. I think it was too busy tearing into that destroyer. Ooh, speaking of. Oh, hello, torpedo. I was expecting you guys. Let's see if this unbalanced rudder can push me away from the torpedoes, ideally quickly. Because my anti-torpedo blister is not great. This is when I need that turning rate, and I need the ship to listen to the rudder very quickly. Pull back. No, we're gonna get hit. Could have been worse. 125. I can take that. What sort of small torp are you throwing at me then? 24-inch? No. That wasn't your torpedo, that was your torpedo. 21-inch. It's more like it. I did knock out one of my engines. 10. That was a big hit. Lots of damage there. 91, 64. They're definitely starting to hurt. How many bulkheads do you have? Maximum bulkhead, so you do have that. Good amount of mid-belt. Decent fore-belt, aft-belt okay, mid-belt. 3-inch deck armor, give or take. My foredeck is better at 3.5. Then again, my ship is way bigger. If this ship had had a better crew, more training for the crew, I imagine they would have been more dangerous. Yeah, here. They have lost quite a bit of crew. And I think the crew are constantly dying because the ship is burning. Severely. They just lost 205 crew and their bow turret got knocked out. And you're also seeing that their control is going down. That's their overall damage control. Their main guns are down to 79%, their secondaries at 91.6. And the crew here is dying pretty quick. What happened to your turret? Did it fly off or did it just get eliminated? No, it flew off. That turret's no longer with us. There's a sheer amount of open, gaping wound that this ship might or must have had. Can I burn it down? Because supposedly fires now hurt more. So if I hit you with 18-inch high explosive, I should start a fire or two. Yeah, but there's not that much to burn. Nah, the fires aren't doing that much damage. Yes, it's ticking up, but when you're fighting against a battleship that you can pen, I think AP is still the better way to go. There. Pen, flooding. They're down to almost 20% losses. Main guns are dropping to sub 80. Oh, hi. Jeez. Casually eliminating the Vityas as we get closer. 18%. Look at all these red sections. So whole sections in the ship which have effectively been destroyed. More flooding. The fire damage, out of 6,000 damage the ship took, the fire damage did less than 500. So it's not nearly as good. At least not on this ship. If you find a ship with fewer bulkheads, maybe it works. And maybe you can get away with it. But right now, I'm not too impressed. Stop throwing torps at my ship. One second. I gotta quickly eliminate a light cruiser here. Thank you. The Vitius sinks due to extensive fire. I think the Vitius sunk due to it ceasing to exist. Everything was on fire. It got hit for 2,000 and another for 1,200. She's gone. Oh crap. She did launch the torpedoes though. Ram the DD. I'm never going to catch the DD. My ships aren't fast enough. Ow. What? Oh, you were... Oh. Well, I guess she was pretty heavily damaged. Now we just need one headshot. Boom. Done. Stealth, can I try to build the Yamato? I have, shipbuilder. I have several times. Play again? No. I want to do a little test. Give me a transport and a destroyer. I want to see what the damaged, or what the rudder thing does. Let's see. I want to make a smaller destroyer. Like a DD3 maybe? This thing is a bit big. It's a mid-section between a light cruiser and a DD. I want to see just how low I can get this turning circle. Give me a main tower. Give me a secondary. Like it would be a normal destroyer. So let's say 4-inch dual barrel. Torpedo launcher somewhere amidships. Funnel. Done. And engine efficiency is a bit low. Still 20% only. $100. There we go. Maximum engine shaft, maximum aux rudder. Current turning circle 361. And that's at 41 knots. If you slow it all the way down, 26 knots, 223 meters. Not too bad. I was expecting better, but okay. Not too bad. If you speed this thing all the way up, 57 knots is a bit unreasonable. Slow. Hold. 50 knots? Can we do 50? Yep. 50 knots, I'll take it. At 50 knots, I can now turn in 434 meters. But that's with the semi-balanced rudder. If I go for an unbalanced, 348. Now, on the one hand, I have a turning speed slowdown. On the other hand, I have 100%... had 100% engine efficiency. What? I did not have 100% engine efficiency. Oh, yes. No, I did have it. And then I gave the ship more speed. Okay, 45 knots. Still blisteringly quick. Need to have a torpedo launcher. There. These are regular crew members. We don't need to go anywhere. Why is this 7,076? Okay. That goes all over the place. Let's go with 1750 like it was, right down the middle. There. Unfortunately, I cannot quite overlay several tests on each other. So I just have to sort of go by feel, but the ship is a bit heavy on the stern. What's heavier, the launcher or the gun? Definitely the launcher. The funnels that the Italians have available is pretty terrible. I would like a better funnel. Give me torpedo tubes there. Gun there. Any chance for a small barbette? That's a little better. Push this thing to here. There we go. Perfectly balanced. Perfectly balanced. Good. Speed, decent. Let's make this like I would actually build a destroyer out. Radar. Probably coincidence range finding. I'm not trying to snipe anything. 21-inch torpedoes. What's the issue? There. And then autoloaders. Electro-hydraulic turrets if I can get them. What sort of propellant would I use here? Triple? No, it will make the guns heavier. I don't want that. Considering I have light guns, like a DD, 4-inch guns, I want maximum shell tank. And for this... more shell damage, I think. But less... no, that's less shell pen. This one. Acoustic would be nice. .1, that's as high as it's gonna go. Oh, that adds up quickly. 0.8 inches of superstructure. That is the superstructure for the tower, 3 funnels, and a secondary tower. That adds up quick. Real quick. Okay, let's put this thing through a turn and see how well it performs. This is our baseline read. Own ship speed, moving to 45 knots. 45 knots. Okay. The ship is in turn. I'm losing speed, as expected. My turning until I complete half a turn is about 400 meters. Ram test. Yeah. But I'll do that in a sec. But the transport's 40 clicks out. I'm not gonna wait you guys or let you guys wait 40 clicks. I'm still losing speed. How long is that gonna last? There. It drops to 38.3 and then stops. I'm no longer losing speed. Okay. Redesign the ship. Because this was with the semi-balanced rudder. Now with the balanced rudder, I shouldn't be losing as much speed. Because my turning speed is now -5. Whereas with the semi, it was -14. Increase to 45. 45. Put her in a spin. Still 400 meters, but... how much is that going to go down, I wonder? Probably not as much. 42.7. There. That's the difference. You're not losing nearly as much speed. That's really nice. If you have a DD that you really need to dodge quickly without losing speed, the balanced rudder's the way to go. Okay. And with that high engine efficiency, I can zoom right back up to 45 knots. Good. Thankfully it's saved. Now with the unbalanced rudder. My turning rate is worse. My turning speed is going to be worse. Oh, sorry, my turning rate's better. So my turning circle should be smaller, but I lose more speed. Oh, and apparently this thing is also heavier. Engine weight's higher. Why? That's weird. Now my test is a bit skewed, because I had to take off some weight from the armor, but, well, put it back on the engine. Alright, make turns for 45 knots. Ship at speed, 45. Full turn. 500 meters? No. I thought my turning circle was supposed to be smaller, not bigger. My speed dropped to 37.4. The hell? My turning circle is 310. The thing still really wants to drift, but not as fast. This is curious. Less acceleration, less rudder shift speed. Here, turning circle 310. Turning circle 387. Turning circle 474. I don't know. I don't know. I might be missing something. It might be something with the game. I'm not sure. It'll require further testing. Did I miss anything from the new patch notes? I don't think so. We went through the hulls. Went through the detailed gun armor. Yes. New deck, belt armor, superstructure armor, rudder type, propellant, custom AI battles, battle saves, ship designs, mechanics. Yes. Alright. Alright. So, okay, fine. We'll end with a RAM test. Let me set this to 10. Design. Semi-balanced. Actually, no, I'll make the balance rudder. Off we go. Contact north. Follow the radar. Here, little transport. Here, little transport. Here. Please don't have guns. Please don't have guns. It has no guns. Russian freighter, this is the Italian gunboat Giuseppe La Farina. Hold your position. Prepare to be boarded. I feel like I'm not really closing in on that ship, maybe as fast as I should. But then again, she's also probably moving at 15 knots? 13.7. Cue the Jaws theme. Range, 1800 meters. Let's see if the auto collision avoidance kicks in. Because I'm directly moving through the Vsevolod. Normally the auto collision kicks in right about now. Where the ship goes, no, 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 I don't want to ram. Yeah, but we're gonna. Wow. They really did something to the auto-collision. Look at this. Doink. How to wreck your ship pretty quick. Meow. 2 engines down. Come on. Get me lucky engine number 2 and 3. I swear this hurts me a lot more than it does now. This transport has 98 crew members aboard? That feels like a lot for a freighter. 98? Wow. I might be losing more structural integrity than they are, but they have some flooding issues. Is that a freighter or a cruise liner? Yeah, I don't know. T-bone it. I find that in this game it's easier to sort of come alongside and keep scraping it than T-bone it, because T-boning it does not cause any more damage. Jeez, this thing drifts. Get in there. Now we're really circling them. Turn. Can I just park alongside it? I've put the engines off completely. Ordered speed, none. Just look at how long this thing keeps momentum in a turn. I mean, I get this is a 1750 ton destroyer, but oh, that ought to slow it down. Doink. Really didn't cost me much speed. I can keep doing donuts for how long? I've always felt that ships in Dreadnoughts were a bit slow to start losing speed, but this is ridiculous. Because you should be losing a ton of speed in a turn. Especially if I'm ordering all engines stop. Turn the other way. 23 knots. We've been going for a while. How many crew members were normally aboard a freighter in World War II? Because I don't believe it's 96. Or something similar. Tear open more sections of all engine. Come on. I still have momentum. What? The ship just disappeared. Okay. No. Alright guys. I'm gonna call the stream here. I have tested all I wanted to test. I think we have discovered that there are a lot of new things to tinker around with. And I have only scratched the surface. So, in the next couple of Dreadnoughts videos, we're going to be playing around with these mechanics and seeing how we can make that into a good story before the campaign comes out. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the fights and the testing and such. If you haven't been able to catch the whole stream, don't worry. I will keep it uploaded onto YouTube and make sure there are, what do you call that, chapters. And that way you can just very quickly jump through the video to parts that you might not have seen yet. Thanks for watching, thanks for joining. Hope you had fun, and I'll see you soon for more videos.